Welcome everybody, it's Dan United. We've got some stuff to talk about tonight. It's been a good weekend. Hey, it's been a good weekend, people. It could have been great. It could have been great. We'll talk about VAR later on, but before we go into VAR, before we go into other teams dropping the ball, figuratively speaking, Sanchez, Chelsea, if you know, you know. News has been dropping, and I've got to say, I'm stunned at it. I mean, look, I've been sat here. Queen Sophie will probably be on the Loaded Mags lot tonight. I think they'll be very upset after today's performance, but we've been told to forget about Bruno Guimarães. We've been told, stop. It ain't happening. And do you know something? A week ago, I was saying, yeah, absolutely, Bruno G, it ain't happening. We've only got one Bruno. We ain't going to have two. But stuff's starting to happen, people. We're starting to get things come through. And do you know something? I mean, look, to dare is to do. That's the Tottenham motto. Fucking Tottenham. Let's all laugh at Tottenham. To dare is to do, yeah? Okay, we'll steal it for tonight. But stuff keeps coming out, people, and this stuff that keeps coming out, normally I take it with a pinch of salt. When you've got Indy Kyler coming out, and they baited me in the summer because they got one thing right, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna utilise them. But when other people come into it, and I'm talking... let me get rid of the badge. Get rid of that badge. We don't need the badge. There we go. When we're talking Fabrizio Romano, it's true. A meeting took place between the agents of Bruno Guimarães and United a few weeks ago. United maintain a good relationship with the agency. Other players are on the list. We know that. We know that. Wait. We know that. The club has a lot of things to clarify and options to study before making a decision. Now, look. On the basis of it, no, they don't have to make a decision. I'll make the decision for you. Where's my phone? I'll pretend I got one. Yeah, Ineos. Yeah, get it done now, yeah? Now. What it is showing me after today's performance for Newcastle. Newcastle are a little on the flat side. They are begging to get to the end of the season. I spoke to Pete via text today, and he was like, just get me to May now. Now, look, 12th in the table. Yes, I get it. One of the most, they are the richest club in the world. And again, I go back to a week ago. If you'd have said to me about this, I'd have told you to just leave it, let it be. Like the Beatles once sang, let it be. But unfortunately, football is fickle, okay? Football is fickle. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And at the moment, this guy here cannot afford to not be playing in the Champions League. He cannot afford to be playing to be missing the Champions League. This guy deserves to be playing Champions League football. Now, yes, we've missed the Champions League for a while. We haven't been at the races for a while. But I feel like the way that Manchester United are moving at the moment, let's not forget, we have put ourselves at the table with Elliot Anderson. We have put ourselves at the table with Wharton. We have put ourselves at the table with Stiller, with Belabor, with Bruno. Manchester United absolutely know, and I've said this for so many times, that they need to not just replace the fact that Casemiro is going and he's a defensive midfielder and he breaks things up. He is actually leaving us a massive hole when it comes to creativity and the goals he scores. Now, Bruno, imagine having two Brunos in your team. It'd be fucking beautiful. I feel like with Newcastle starting to struggle a little bit, we don't know what their thoughts are with Eddie Howe. I mean, Pete is of the opinion that he may stay on. I think you're going to look at players like Tonali, like Bruno, like Gordon, maybe Hall. They're going to look and say, do we want to be missing European football next season? Because it's not granted that Newcastle get European football. They've got a lot of work to do. And with regards to the fact that their season is falling, it's bizarre. Newcastle can go from having a fantastic performance against us to then being inconsistent again. That's the Derby double from Sunderland this season. So, look, I'm daring to dream. Let me go through some of your comments. Danny Boy says, evening all. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Still pissed off about that ref and VAR. Especially more so the results have mostly gone our way. Let it be. Don't worry. God must be a United fan, says Chappie. Hello, everyone. Get your comments in, people. We will read them. We will always read them out. You know this. I get through as many as I can. And smash a like and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. It looks Carpy says, hi all. Yeah, VAR is a joke. Thank God the results went our way. And yes, there is no new patio. Mrs. Robinson has let me live. Moxie says, good evening. Just checking in, Danny boy. Well, after the Atwell abomination at Bournemouth, it wasn't a bad point thanks to Chelsea and Liverpool doing their ting. Good to see you, Moxie. Buzzing from the Arteta capitulation. How shit were they? Just as shit as I've been saying. We'll go to Arsenal in a bit, don't you worry. Read the same thing and it just literally meant a meeting between the two sets of agents, nothing more. I take these comments, but when Fabrizio starts putting his name in, there's a lot more, I think. And look, I am excited because Manchester United should be linked with the world's best players. The last few years, we've done it all wrong. We've bought players in for big prices and big wages who are normally at the end of their careers or just want the money. This guy does not like losing. This guy hates fucking losing. And if you've got a guy that hates fucking losing in your side, then you go about winning more. And look, we'll go through his stats in a bit. Danny Boy says, I'm sceptical. Will Newcastle really sell us one of their own best midfielders? Would you have said they'd have sold Isak? Would you have said they'd have sold Isak? Because I wouldn't. Paul says, evening, Danny boy. Good to see you, Paul. Hope you're well. Sure, his agents have hundreds of other players on their books. Could be nothing to do with this lad. Yeah. Look, Fabrizio wouldn't mention him, mate. He wouldn't mention him, Ben. Good to see you, mate. Like and sub if you're enjoying the show. Yes, make sure you do. It helps me out a lot. Absolutely does. And evening, Dan. Hope you're okay. This happens as well as another... Yeah, we need central midfielders. Everyone knows we need central midfielders. I've also read there's been an internal discussion about the possibility of giving Casemiro one more year too. I am here to tell you, in the words of Donald Trump, fake news. No chance. We won't do that. And yeah, get the fucking likes up, people. Thoughts on City and Arsenal? Look, I said City would win. I said City would win. I know what this City team does. I've been at the receiving end of this City team, but Arsenal have they've got to learn where their place is. They've got to learn where their place is. They'll probably win the Premier League this season, but they've got to learn where their place is. You can't play two Brunos. It's bad luck. Bring on dirty leads. Get in all, just jump to 10 likes. That's it. Keep them coming. And 2 games in a row, VAR have fucked us up, but we still gain 3 points on the Scousers. And Goat Father, good to see you, mate. I have confidence we can keep our best players, including the captain. Goat Father, absolutely. Look, you want to keep the best players at the club. I just think when you look at what's happening at Newcastle at the moment, it's very indifferent. It's very indifferent, and I just wonder how much longer he'll give you. But look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I probably am wrong. Who knows? And yeah, I'm sure you are buzzing for Prem in a row. It's a very good point about the Champions League football, though. It is. Now look, let's go through the stats with this guy because where are we? So if I get rid of you a second, look. This is his stats for the season. 23 games, 9 goals, 5 assists in the Premier League. That's great. That's great. 2 assists in the EFL, so he's got 7 assists this season, 9 goals. It's the midfield positioning that gets me giddy. It gets me all warm and giddy inside, and it isn't the banging chicken that I've just made for Sunday lunch. We've all said for a while that it's got to be a defensive midfielder. It's got to be the defensive midfielder. It has to be. However, this guy pulls just as good stats in both positions here. Don't worry about the attacking midfield one, even though he got an assist in one appearance. This guy pulls the stats in both positions. It would be central midfield. We ain't doing that 3-4 fucking bullshit hammering tactics again. We're going to stick to what we are, aren't we? And I think he slots in there perfectly. I think with the stats that we have there, when you liken it to what we have been fed for the last 5 or 6 years in central midfield, that is a dream. That there, I'm cancelling Mrs. Robinson and I's fucking anniversary to celebrate this. I really am, because that is exactly what Manchester United have been craving and needing for a long time. Newcastle have got themselves a fantastic midfielder in there. Now, the price touted about is between the 70 million mark and the 80 million mark. This is where it differs. Manchester United, when we were linked to Baleba being 100 million plus, Brighton wanted to pull our pants down and said, 100 million plus, this guy's going to be incredible. With the 100 million that you're spending on a Baleba, you are buying a person that you hope can reach where you think they should do. And the scouts will tell you that this guy can do X, Y, Z in a couple of seasons. He is going to be elite. However, when you look at the world's best and you look at them on top of their game, Bruno does fit into there. And Bruno does not seem to be, for me, a player that you would look at and go, he's coming for the money. He's a passionate guy, man. He is a passionate guy. And we know the stories about Casemiro's been talking to him. Footballers talk, we know that. There's going to be a lot of shocks this summer, okay? Make no mistake about it. This transfer window that's coming in the summer, because of the World Cup year as well, is going to be a crazy transfer market. Now, Manchester United might not end up anywhere near... Let me bring him back up. Let me bring this guy back up. They might not end up anywhere near this guy. We might not... We literally could not end up anywhere near this guy. But the difference this year, the difference that we're seeing, and if we go on the transfers that we made in the summer, is that we are not just hedging our bets on one player. At the early part of the season, everyone went, well, it'll be Berrada or nobody. Then it shifted to Elliot Anderson, who, let's be honest, we know is going to City. Then it shifted to Adam Wharton, Stiller. Now we've got Bruno. What Manchester United are essentially doing is, and I don't think they care. I don't think Berrada and Wilcox care. I think what they're doing here is they're saying, right, this is the pool of midfielders that we are going for. The world is going to know that we are going for a midfielder because, look, we don't have any. We've got Kobe Mainoo, that's it. Ugarte's gone. Manchester United now are essentially saying, here's our cards. This is what we're doing. And absolutely, it is the right thing to do. Now, it could get to the end of the season and we could get the, here we go, United have gone straight in for Wharton. Fantastic. Adam Wharton completely changes our midfield. All of the midfielders, bar Berrada, I've got to be honest with you, I've lost all excitement for Berrada for how bad he's been this season. But all of the midfielders that we have been linked to, you look at it, bar the Elliot Anderson one, and you go, maybe. I kind of feel like Manchester United have learned from mistakes in the past. And look, I ain't putting all of the mistakes we've made into that. I am absolutely not, because we have made mistake after mistake after mistake. But Manchester United, it seems, have learned transfer-wise from putting all of their eggs in one basket and going, right, we're going to go in on this one player. If we get him, sound. If not, we'll just tell the fans, no chance. No chance. I feel like they're doing it the right way. And look, does Bruno turn us into a title contender? Absolutely not. We know that there are other cracks in this squad that need sorting out. You cannot paper over this squad. This squad needs another rebuild. We had a decent one last summer. We need another one. We're greedy. We need it. But I tell you what, I mean, you're bringing this sort of calibre of player to Manchester United. It changes the whole dynamics of our football team, guys. Because I will say it now, and I don't think anyone can disagree here. He is a major upgrade on Casemiro. Casemiro's been great this season. He has. But this guy is an upgrade. And Manchester United are in desperate need of upgrades. So I'm so buzzing, man. So buzzing. Let's go through some more of these comments and then we'll move on a little bit. Spurs are so bad. I watched it. So bad. I'd love to have Bruno. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Me too. As long as the transfers are legit and no tapping up, I'm okay with it. The reality is he does want Champions League football. Absolute facts there, Goat Father. I'm Bruno. In my opinion, Bruno is easily worth double than Berrada. Anything more than 50 for Berrada is daft. United are in the driving seat with Berrada now. We've got alternatives. Like Brighton will not hang us out to dry. They won't. They fucked it. At the start of the season, when United were offering things, they were like, nah, he's going to be mint this season. No, he sulked. And ultimately, Brighton, I reckon he's cost you 60, 70 million in transfer funds you could have got. So that's on you guys. If we seem to be tracking more players, says, wahaha, clubs can't play hardball. Absolutely. Mustafa, good to see you, mate. He says, I think we can get Bruno G. 1, Wilcox is driving this. 2, Premier League proven. And 3, leader. And Mustafa, that's such a great point, by the way. This guy's a leader. We need more leaders on that pitch. At the moment, we are a team full of ageing leaders. You know, we're a team full of Joe Bidens. They're just too old. They can bestow, you know, a wealth of knowledge on the training pitch. You know, back in my day, you should have seen what we used to do. But on the field, It's guys like these that will drag you through the matches. It is guys like these that will pick you up by the scruff of the neck and say, let's get to fucking work. These are the guys you need. You want 100 million for Anderson? Okay, we'll go to Newcastle for others. And he would absolutely complement Kobe Manu and Bruno. And I'd rather Wharton, Bruno G. Anderson will cost a lot. Fair. I guess it's a question of seeing which players really want to the club come to the club at 100%. Champions League football does that to them, though, doesn't it, Carl? I'd rather Stiller than Wharton. Hopefully Bruno, still a couple of fullbacks and another forward. Do you know something? I'll say it again, and I get laughed at for this. In the summer, bring me Danny Welbeck as a backup striker. Bring me Danny Welbeck as a backup striker and we move on from that position. 100%. Stiller is a risk, says Mustafa. Interesting. Now look, this weekend, and smash a like if you want Bruno at the club. This weekend was a pain in the arse. And it was a pain in the arse because of this. Is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. It's not coming up. I'll bring it up in a second. This essentially ruined Manchester United's Friday. On Friday, we all were furious. Absolutely furious. Now, I want to say this in a way that doesn't make me just go, oh, it's United, so I'm demanding things change. However, this has happened to clubs all over this season. The refereeing in the Premier League is an absolute fucking joke. It's an absolute joke. I'll see if I can get this up. I don't know why it's not working. Let me just up. There we go. There we go. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. I'll start it again. Look at this. Look at it. It's incredibly horrendous. When you watch it back, you get so angry. And Manchester United are to make a formal complaint to the head of the referees at the PGMOL, claiming that they should have been awarded a second penalty. Honestly, Manchester United have had a lucky weekend. We've had a belting weekend. But what could it have been? What could it have been if we didn't have to contend? I'll bring it up again. I don't care. I'll bring it up again. If we didn't have to contend with an absolute shit show decision. At that point, it's 2-0. Okay, at that point, we get the penalty. We score the penalty. It's 2-0. I think Bournemouth then are done. Because Bournemouth weren't really offering anything. They go up the other end after that, and they get the equaliser. Now, United straight away, bang, 2-1, and we go, woo! Perfect, job done. Let's just see us out. Then Harry Maguire gets involved. And on the face of it, when you look at both of them, both decisions, what's the difference in those two fouls? If someone can tell me, because I watch it back. I've watched it 100 times. Watched both of them. I'm that sad. I even got them both up on two screens, and I clicked them and I went. I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is Stuart Atwell absolutely shit the bed. He shit the bed. He didn't have the balls to go for another penalty. VAR did not get involved in that. Why? Corruption. It is. It's an absolute corruption. VAR had so many, and Ben's right, they've got so many angles that they can watch. Because I tell you something, if that's anywhere else on the pitch, that's a free kick. I feel like Stuart Atwell at the time probably thought, we're all right. When we then went up the other end and scored, he probably thought, oh, bollocks. But it was how quick he was to go, red card, Maguire, it's a penalty. That's the frustration for me. Now, in football, we crave consistency. And I don't want to go over to old ground too much. But we crave consistency. And unfortunately, the Premier League referees are awful. There is no consistency. They rely heavily on VAR, and if they don't get VAR, they shit the bed. And shame on them, because luckily for Manchester United, I'll bring the table up. Hang on, let me just get rid of this a second. Let me get rid of that. Let me bring the table up. This is the table at the moment. Manchester United are so fortunate. Yes, Villa have won this weekend. Fantastic for them. Brilliant. Good luck. But we could have been 9 points clear of Chelsea. 9 points clear. I'm telling you all now, season's done for United. We're finishing in Champions League. We don't need to worry about it. The last couple of games of the season, I reckon we'd have had enough breathing space to even utilise the likes of Shea Lacey and Chida Obi, give them some minutes like we always used to do. And I genuinely feel like, let me get myself back up big a second. We'll go through some comments, don't worry. I genuinely feel like that the FA, the Premier League, I feel like they've probably looked at the results this weekend, and I reckon that when they have their response to United, I think it will be along the lines of, well, Chelsea lost. And Chelsea, by the way, were fucking abysmal. Chelsea were abysmal. Liverpool lost. Has it detrimented you that much? It doesn't matter about that. When are all the clubs in the Premier League going to wake up and realise that they, as a collective, should all complain about these referees? All of them. I'm telling you now, we have seen some humdinging referees. We really have. Uriah Reddy. Clattenburg. But I'm telling you something now. These guys didn't make half the mistakes that the referees of today are doing nowadays. And it needs unpacking. It needs unpacking because... let me bring that one more time. One more time. You tell me how this, both hands, pushes him to the ground. He can't fucking kick. Can't kick the ball. How that is not a penalty. It is absolutely baffling. Now, Bruno had this to say after the game. He said, not getting a penalty and then we get a penalty against us where it's the same situation as Ahmad. One is not. Either one is a penalty and so is the other, or none of them are. On the Ahmad push, he said, Ahmad is getting to the point where he's about to shoot. Absolutely facts. He gets pushed. You can see that something puts him completely out of balance. It's frustrating for the small players because they always say the small players are soft, and when it's the bigger players, they end up giving the fouls. Bruno's absolutely right to call it out for what it is, by the way. Do you know something? Let me get rid of these. I'll come back on the big screen. Then we'll go through some of your comments. We've all seen Bruno do some annoying things. As United fans and as rival fans, we can all sit here and say Bruno has done things and said things that we've gone, fucking hell, Bruno, just stop. Leave it. But I thought his interview after the game was absolute class. It was class. It was everything it needed to be. It was straight to the point. It was absolutely saying what was needed to be said. And Carrick as well, by the way. Carrick as well. It has to stop. Let me go through some of your comments. Where are we? Yeah, Welbeck's still got it. Come on, Mustafa, you know this. Paul says, I hate Prem refs. Me too. Mustafa says, we gained a point on Liverpool, Chelsea, but that well cost us 2 games. The Sandro goal versus Burnley. Facts. Goatfather says refs have been our dreadful all season. Facts again. We could have been 9 above Liverpool, 10 above Chelsea, but no refs. Refs hate us, man. In a sort of way, I understand the ref might not have been certain, but they are look at that multiple times from multiple angles and don't give it. Absolute shambles. Again, why didn't VAR? Why didn't they pull him to the camera and say, go and have a look at the monitor? I tell you why. Because they don't want to make it look like he's made an error. But unfortunately, these fucking bozos at Stockley Park, in trying to do that, don't realise that after the game, they are all going to be pulled apart. I mean, Alan Shearer, of all people. Shearer hates Man United. Even Alan Shearer's there backing us. I mean, that says everything you need to know, man. Maguire only misses Leeds. Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't dangerous play, so he'll be back. This isn't the first time Atwell's made us drop. Yeah, exactly. I honestly don't see Chelsea, Liverpool as much of a threat for the rest of the season. They've got their own shit to sort out. Carl, honestly, Chelsea have got their own shit to sort out. Rossinia, honestly, fucking hell. I thought we had it bad with Amorim. I mean, I'm getting to a point, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm getting to a point where I'm actually starting to feel sorry for Charlie. And that is huge. For me to feel sorry for Charlie, the Chelsea fan, or football's 12th man, I'm really starting to feel sorry for him. Cheers, Paul. I absolutely will do. Thank you, mate. Anthony says it. Fantastic evening, all. PGML. Disgrace tried to ruin our weekend. Luckily, Chelsea, Spurs, bin dippers. Actually, not a bad weekend, absolutely. You may need to have a word with Charlie on Monday. That Chelsea project, they're going backwards. I feel sorry for him. Lads, I genuinely feel sorry for him. Steve-O says, hi everyone, it's supposed to be easier for refs these days, but unfortunately since VAR, they've regressed. They've got no clue anymore. They absolutely haven't. I agree. By the way, 41% of you are 50-50 with Bruno. Carl says, for me, the ref's on-field decision needs to be taken out of any VAR check. Needs to be a fresh look at the incident by them. And they're already trying to damage control and ex-riff. Look, Dermot Gallagher and Mike Dean, like seriously, if I want to fucking listen to Right Said Fred on the TV, I'll pay my TV subscription and go watch them in concert, yeah? Don't need to see these two Baldylockses going, well, no, you know, you got to look at it from the referee's perspective and it's this, it's... No, you're crooked. You're all crooked. Just passing by, had to... hello to my fellow Red Devil. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Perfect. I'm glad Carrick and Bruno called them out. Absolutely. And I mean, it's 2026. The lightest touches a foul, but these instances... It wasn't. Like, this is the thing. He's got one hand and then he's got the other and he pushes him to the floor. Look... Ahmad is light, and Ahmad does get knocked off the ball easily, but that is a fucking penalty. Let's all laugh at Liverpool and Chelsea, absolutely. Andy Cole, yep, said it was a pen, and a good ref is never noticed. There's too many of them these days. Facts. Leeds will be a hard game, says Max. I don't think it will. I think we batter Leeds. United look, let's take away the fact of that red card. Let's take away the fact of the penalty decision the other end. Thought United were okay against Bournemouth. I don't think we set the world alight, but I thought we were in control of the game. Lemmy looked at ease. I didn't think he looked out of his depth. I thought we were okay, and I thought that second goal would have killed them off. I think we batter Leeds. Think it will be no. Do you know why? The Butcher will be back for that game, Ben. The Butcher will be back. Patchley, apparently he's apologised. Yeah, well, apologies mean nothing, don't they? Since VAR, it's like refs have forgotten how to ref the game. And yeah, Leacher is absolutely back. Scrap VAR. Soph, Queen Sophie, my thoughts are with you today. I genuinely, I mean that from here because you hate Howe, I know you do, but I mean... It was a tough watch to watch Newcastle today. I watched them before I took Mrs. Robinson to Morrison's for the weekly shop. It was bad. It was bad. I even saw Liverpool fans saying it was a penalty. Absolutely. And we got a good home record. I think we'll beat Leeds. We got a great home record against Leeds. Absolutely. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Now then, I wanted to bring this up because this is the fixtures for April. And by the way, Manchester United don't play now till the 13th of April. Like, what the hell are we going to do on this channel until the 13th of April? Like, do you know what I mean? What are we going to fucking do? I mean, obviously we've got the World Cup qualifiers, we've got England friendlies. I'm actually going to watch Queen of the South in Inverness next weekend, so that'll be good. But what I wanted to ask you all, in fact, I'll put a little cheeky poll in there for this. I want to know where your thoughts are on the next 3 fixtures and how many points we can get from them. How many points from these fixturanos? We'll go 3, 4 to 7, and then we'll go 9. How many points are we getting from those fixtures, guys? Because I tell you something, I know we don't have the best of records at Stamford Bridge. I know Stamford Bridge is a bit of a shitter for us sometimes. But this Chelsea side don't look the same Chelsea side. This Chelsea side, I mean, he doesn't know which goalkeeper he wants to play. The centre-backs are abysmal. The midfield, at one point I had Don and Charlie saying they were the best midfield in the world. They've gone away. Obviously, Cole Palmer is just in the freezer now. Or maybe they've left him in the sun too long and he's just damped. Leeds, I think, will beat them. I honestly think we'll beat them. And I think we'll beat Brentford. I do. I do think we'll beat Brentford. The only one for me is the Chelsea game. I can see us picking points up at Chelsea, though. Like, look, Manchester United aren't playing sublime football week in, week out. But for those fixtures, you would like to think that Butcher would be back. And I think he is a big part of the way we play. I think he's a massive part of the way we play. So I kind of feel like with that lad back in the team for the Leeds game, It's going to make us better. You got to remember, Butcher is so good at bringing that ball out from the back four, and starting attacks up. How many times do we see Butcher bring the ball to the halfway line, and we're looking and we're going, where's he going with this? It's either a crossfield pass or he's setting someone on their way. We miss Butcher massively. Already, I can tell you the votes are at 60% of you saying 9 points. Maximane, I love that. Maximane. Pingo, get Kev to call the numbers. I don't. I dropped a birthday card at his yesterday, and he hadn't bloody messaged me. I don't know if he's ill or what. I hope he's all right. I hate international football's a mess, man. I hate international football. Dan's off to Holland. I hope you go in there to behave, Danny boy. If you know, you know. 9 says Anthony. 9 says Carl. Dan says 7. Mustafa says he thinks we can get 9. Brentford will be the shit draw. Soph just says my season finished at 2 p.m. Honestly, I feel for you. Pete, I'm going to have to be careful tomorrow because I think I'm not riling Pete up tomorrow. I'm going to be a friend. I'm going to be a shoulder to cry on. 9, Brentford don't have a good old Trafford record. Chelsea are a mess. Their keeper makes mistakes. Need Garnacho crying on the bench. Honestly, what's that prick score against us? Max, this is why I love Max. Max always comes in and keeps us grounded. He's gone with 3 points. I don't think... Delit won't be back this season. Forget about Delit. I would go as far to say in the summer, I'm selling Delit. He's on my sale list now. He's on my sale list now. He had such a good start to the season, but we need players that can play week in, week out. It's the same with Mark. I mean, Butcher's different gravy for me. I love Butcher. Jamie says, Dan, do you think the defence transfers are just as important as midfield, if not more important, with the injury problems in defence? Absolutely. The thing I will say, I think Manchester United, let's not even consider forward players in the summer. I don't think we need to. I think forward players now, forget about it. If you can bring a Danny Welbeck back to the club for next to nothing, do that. That's fine. But our sole purpose as a football club now is to get the midfield sorted, get a new right back, a left back, and I think bring the centre back in. United apparently looking at 4 or 5 players. I think if it's 4 or 5 for definite, they're the positions that you have to look at. Argentina. Kev's probably still drunk. Yeah, maybe. Kev said, that's probably more likely. That's what we get for making excuses for this. Do you know what I didn't like with Eddie Howe today? Eddie Howe is now blaming it on the fact that they can't compete with transfers. Blah 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 blah. Newcastle's transfer window in the summer last summer was abysmal, and I don't think Queen Sophie would be against me saying that, because I just feel like they got it completely wrong. They looked very amateur in the way that they were doing their transfers in the summer, coupled with the fact they kept Isak far too long. They should have let that guy go. They knew he wasn't going to play again. I think they tried to essentially go, hang on a minute, we're in charge here, and they never were. Isak wanted to go. He did it the wrong way, of course he did. I take that. But he was always going to go to Liverpool. And you'd like to think that Newcastle probably have learnt a massive, massive lesson, because that transfer window in the summer has destroyed their season. Absolutely destroyed their season. Steve-O says, 7 points, not as confident without Martinez. He'll be back, don't worry. Going to see my sister, that's what I like. Well, good. At least, yeah. You'll definitely be behaving. Good. Delit is really good, but we've seen less of him this season. I mean, Malacia, man, what the fuck's that guy still doing on the squad, in the team? Who's gone with 3 points? Max has definitely gone. Good to see, Soph. Good to see. Loves Prem proven. There we go. Newcastle wanted the players, but wanted to go elsewhere. They were just a bit slow to realise. Absolutely. And Danny Welbeck is the GOAT. Oh, Danny Welbeck. Smash a like for Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck. Honestly, how is he not in the England squad? How's he not in the England squad, but Solanke is? Like, how? Someone help me understand that. Enrique, I mean, look, we've seen this, haven't we? We've seen the reports that United are really, really looking to go in on Enrique, and I wonder if that's tied with the stories about Bruno. I just wonder. And yes, make sure you like and subscribe. It doesn't take long to do it. It does not take long to do it. So the fixtures there, we've got the fixtures. I think that they are... Look at those fixtures. If Man United get through those fixtures without a loss, I I think United don't even have to worry about Champions League. I think it's done. I mean, there's a world apparently today where it says that Champions League can go down as far as 7th if Villa win the Europa League and I think Liverpool win the Champions League. I mean, there's so many connotations there, isn't there? So many connotations. I don't believe that. Fuck it. But I tell you what, I'm so glad Trent isn't in there. Doesn't suit Tuchel play style is my opinion. Fair, but he should be, absolutely. 2 former United lads helping us out this weekend. Right, do you remember when I said Jimmy Garner in January, go and bring him in for 10, 15 million? We should have absolutely done that. Jimmy Garner has just gone from strength to strength for Everton. He would have been a fantastic utility player. Champions League next season, you need those type of players. Dan, can you can do transfer news and international breaking news that needs putting out? I probably will do that, Mustafa. Yeah, I will be doing that, mate. Definitely. And yeah, we did agree on this. We absolutely did agree on this. Yeah. Right then, there are other bits I want to go through, right? Now, I want you all to stick with me on this because I don't know if any of you have ever watched Marvel What If, but I had a realisation this weekend and a what if moment. Okay? A what if moment. Look at that picture. Look at that picture. Europa League winners, Manchester United lost. We had an abysmal season. We ended up no European football. The worst season on record in the Premier League for us, okay? What if moment. The what if moment is this. If Manchester United win that game, look at who we have. Look at who we have. Whoop, 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 whoop. We still get fucking Ken from Barbie. That guy, by the way. Let's all laugh at Garnacho, you little twat. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? And then look at this guy. This guy, Delap, who I think has been absolutely fucking shocking at Chelsea. My point is this, Manchester United community, Brian Brigade, Eclect, everyone, all of you beautiful people, Manchester United would have found themselves in a situation, I think, if we'd have won that final, where we would have been looking at a season with those 2 players. And how different does our squad look now because of this? There is no hiding the fact that Wilcox wanted Delap. He wanted him. He saw him as the project for the future. We ended up getting Sesko. You look at Garnacho. Garnacho would have 100% stayed if we'd have got Champions League football. My concern is who else would have stayed as well, by the way. The other side of it is, we win that Champions League final, that Europa League final, I think Amorim stays longer as well. I think Amorim would have been given the full season because we would have been the Champions League. And the way we were in Europe, I fully would have expected us to maybe get through the group stages, which would have taken us till past Christmas. It would have been. I look at this, and I'll bring the picture back up. I'll bring it back up a second. Let me just get rid of these 2 bozos. I look at this and I say This picture here is the biggest what if of Manchester United's history. It is. It absolutely is. You can take away the red card against Nani in the game against Madrid. You can take away, the Aguero goal. You can take away all of that. This would have had a bigger meaning at Manchester United. And I actually sit here now, and I'm going to ask this Deji tomorrow when I'm on their 12th man. In hindsight, I think losing that Europa League final was probably going to be the best thing that could have happened to either club. As much as short term you look and you go Champions League football though, we needed to absolutely hit our lowest moments. We had to. Sometimes in life, when you need to get back to remembering who you are, you need to experience your lowest moments. We've all been there. I think we've all been there. I can't say it for everyone, but I've been there. When you sit there and something happens and you reach your lowest and you go, right, I need to remember who the fuck I am here. Manchester United, after that abysmal game in the Europa League final, then after getting bantered by him, bantered by that absolute arsehole, yeah? Bantered by Anthony, bantered by Rashford, bantered by Sancho, rejected by this guy, by Delap. That was a low moment. I remember in the summer going, we've even missed out on Delap here. Jesus Christ. And yes, there was an element I didn't want him, but you sat there and you went, fucking hell, there are clubs gazumping us here. But then after that, in our lowest moments, out of the ashes spawned players that we looked at and we went, Cunha, quality. Brian Mbuemo, fantastic. Sesko, a lot of potential, can do stuff in the here and now. We all said, I remember doing a video on TikTok before I did the YouTube channel about Le Mans, and I had people in there going, who the fuck is he? And I remember towards the end of the transfer window, I was one of the guys saying, Emi Martinez, we should get Emi Martinez. Let's just leave Lemmy. Let's get Martinez. What if moments? And I think Manchester United somehow, some way, have been the beneficiaries of a fantastic, classic sliding doors season. Because if you start the season with a Delap, with a Garnacho, maybe you keep Anthony. We're in the Champions League. Maybe Rashford does come back and say, do you know what? I want to have another go. I'm in the Champions League. I think the season's completely different. And I think what would have ended up happening with that Champions League money, I wonder if we'd have gone and done some more stupid signings. I wonder if we'd have brought in players that wouldn't have suited our style. In life, you have so many sliding doors moments that you look back on and you go, wow, imagine. And I think these two here are the biggest example of sliding doors moments that I think we will ever see. And there's someone else I want to bring into that sliding door moment. Maybe this clown stays, yeah? Maybe this bozo gets another chance because we win a major trophy and we get into the Champions League. Maybe the manager goes, do you know what, actually, I've just won a final with him. Yeah, he's got flaws. Yeah, we've got issues. But maybe we can do something with him. Sliding door moments. Now, the rumours coming out again from Fabrizio of Onana trying to stay. Untrue. Untrue. It is done with him. So he will leave the club in the summer. And he goes with my worst intentions. Not my best intentions, my worst intentions. Because this guy has been ridiculous for Manchester United. And you can use ridiculous in two ways. David De Gea was ridiculous at United, but in a positive way. Some of the saves he made, you'd go, that is ridiculous. But with this guy, some of the goals he'd let in, you go, that's ridiculous. It's all in the delivery of how you say it. Sliding door moment, people. This guy would have been number one this season because we'd have won a major trophy. Honestly, I go back to it. This picture, it hurt. It absolutely broke my heart seeing that. It broke me. I had to go on the 12th man the week after and do my goodbye because I was kicked off the race for Europe. It broke me. But do you know something? That picture now, it inspires me. It inspires me. I look at it and I go, there's the turning point. I honestly, imagine where we'd have been. Let's go through some more of these comments. Enrique's a wanker, though, through and through. Don't want him at United. Oof. Actually glad we lost it now. Blessing in disguise. Spurs are going... I mean, Spurs, man. Honestly. Oh, Christ. Spurs, just embarrassing. Ready for a summer of Garnacho only wants Arsenal? Honestly, the only problem with Garnacho is Chelsea will make a profit on him. They seem to be able to do it. Wonder how much he got paid for leaking the Chelsea team. He was abysmal. Like, I watched him that game. The one point I saw, Jake O'Brien was so smart with him, just niggling at him. And he was on the floor and he was rolling in his hands and then he was up and he was trying to fight the ref and he was doing, and I looked at him and I went, we looked at this absolute turd as our next Ronaldo. We looked at this lad and went, this guy's the future of United. And I remember the picture, the infamous picture of Rasmus, Mainu. Was it Rasmus, Ahmad and Garnacho? I think it was them three. I think you can mix them. All sat there after a goal and I was like, that's our future. That's beautiful. But one by one, we got rid. Højlund was never up to it. Off he went. He's now in Napoli. He likes fucking comments sometimes about us, about players scoring against us. Absolutely fine, Rasmus. You stay in Italy. That is your level, son. That is your level. My personal hope is that Denmark get into the World Cup and we play them in the World Cup and we absolutely batter them and kick them out of it. So happy with Sesko. So happy we didn't get Delap or Gyökeres. Facts. Wilcox wanted Delap over Sesko. Again, I've said before that we've got a lot of things right this summer. Wilcox tried to get a lot of things wrong. Luckily, Vivell put his foot down. If we had European football this season, we'd be bottom half of the table now. Facts. Sesko. Maybe Rashford would have stayed, says Mustafa. Let me put that in the comments a second. I've seen that comment. By the way, 62% of you saying 9 points we'll get. Would Rashford have stayed if we got Champions League football? Yes or no? Would Rashford have stayed if we'd have got Champions League football? Be interested to see what your thoughts are. I don't think he would have. Personally, I think his head was gone. I think he didn't want United anymore. I think he was sold on the Barcelona dream. I can guarantee we would never have been third in the table, third from bottom maybe. To be fair, I do think it's Chelsea who have messed. Yeah, well, yes and no though, Jamie, because I've watched him a bit. And I think he's shit. Van Persie and the rest royally fucked us in that Real Madrid tie. I mean, you could go back to... I mean, look, again, remember Varane fouled Everett, and wasn't given a red card. The Nani red card still pisses me off. It does me too. Sliding door moment, so people. Amarim was absolutely right. Good times were ahead, just not with him. I'm pinning that message. Where is it? I'm pinning that message. That message is a fucking beaut, Steve-O. Where is it, Steve-O? Yep, I'm pinning that, mate. I'm replacing that and putting that as the replace pin message. That is the message. That is the message of the season. Delap went there thinking he'd be the main man. They went and bought João Pedro too. And I think this is the thing, Chelsea fans, they fucked it over themselves. Because they went and won the Club World Cup, beat PSG, and they went, we are going to absolutely smash teams up. And it just went from bad to worse for them. Bad to worse. I was sending Charlie train times to get out of Liverpool last night when the second goal went in. I was like, Charlie, look, if you make it, if you run, you can get an earlier train back, my guy. You can get an earlier train. Run. Go. He didn't listen. Absolutely love that transfer window. Looks more and more like the absolute perfect window. Absolutely. I'm liking the links that with the players that are linked to I trust. Yeah, Vivell's done fantastic. Sorry, Anthony. Everyone's going off on Anana. Chelsea are missing a Lemmy, honestly. Lemmy is one of the signings of the season. Honestly, and yeah, facts with that. Yeah, absolutely. Sell him on. Sell him for 80 million. I'll take 8 million. Imagine getting 8 million for that prick. I remember everyone was screaming for a ball-playing goalkeeper and we got Anana. Terrible, terrible goalkeeper. I was one of them. I wanted Dave out the way for Anana. What a clown I was. Could have been worse. Yeah, Deji's done. Like, Deji's moving. I think he's moving. I remember, I've done that one. Garnacho definitely leaked the Chelsea team. He did, Paul. He's a prick. They won't make money on that rat, surely. They will, though. Chelsea seem to make money. I don't know how they do it. Probably go... This would be the dream, right? This would be the dream. Chelsea don't get European football. Garnacho gets loaned out to Strasbourg next season. That would be fucking mint. That's it. Yes, there you go. Thank you, Ben, for reminding me. It was time for him to go. Same as the bomb squad. Get that poll out of my face. Let's have a look at how it's going. 82% of you are saying no straight away. Yeah, I mean, Garnacho can forget about the Argentinian squad. Like, is he even in the Argentina squad? Argentina squad. Let's have a look. Is he even in it? Let's have a look. Garnacho. I can't see Garnacho. Good. Maybe he can go and buy another vape from a shop and go get another tattoo, the twat, with his criminal of a brother. Yeah, ship sailed, absolutely. Chelsea are planning a protest for our game. The ownership's been fucking horrendous. And let's not forget that Chelsea have got away with a massive... They've been let off the hook incredibly. They have managed to just, honestly, because they've come out and said, we found that the money spent and blah 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 was under the old regime. We found that the transfer you're doing weren't correct, so we're owning up. Then they get a little slap on the wrist fine. They should have been hit with a transfer ban straight away. Like, Chelsea should have been hit with a transfer ban. The Premier League, they're just so corrupt. And it's because of this Chelsea decision that I think City will get away with it as well, by the way. Vival, I think he had a hand in it, Paul. I do think he had a hand in it. We've got the sell on for Garnacho. Mason as well. I don't like saying his name, but Greenwood, there's a 50% sell on. He'll definitely leave Marseille this summer, 100%. Absolutely. And Chelsea manager just reminds me of a PE teacher. Look, the Chelsea manager, we'll close it on this. Like, Rafinha, I feel like Rafinha has... I think he peaked too soon. And I don't mean that in results, but what I mean is he got some decent results and I did say it wasn't about results, but stick with me on this. He got some decent results and he started to get plaudits from coaches and from players and from ex-players. And the problem you have in the Premier League is you can believe in your hype like that. You can start to believe in your own hype like that, bang, and then you're away. And you're sat there and you're going, oh, yeah, well, look, I'm the Chelsea manager. We've had a good couple of wins, beat Charlton Athletic. Fucking look at us. And then I think you look at it and you go, you need to calm down, son. And Mustafa's right. There are elements. I mean, he's come in with this team, but I think some of the things that he does, is laughable. Like sending that piece of paper on in the PSG game with Garnacho. They're absolutely battered. And he's like, Garnacho, yeah, mate, hang on. Yeah. Hang on, mate. Sorry, Garner. Yeah, right. Just give that to the... just pass that round. Make sure you pass it round, because if you get it round quick enough, I think we could turn this tie around. It's the whole centre circle, respect the ball bollocks. I don't like his attitude on the sideline. If you look at the difference between him and Carrick, if you look at the difference between him and a lot of managers, he gets animated, and it's doing this to the fourth official. Expensive mistake for Chelsea, because they got him on a 6-year contract. They gave Chelsea that fine instead of points deduction to set the precedent, you reckon? We'll have to see. No, 83% of you said no to Rashford staying. I've made a nice short comic with Rafinha. Okay. City are getting away with it, or they'll deduct points for Everton. Well, this is the thing, actually. Look at Everton and look at Nottingham Forest. They got deducted points. Everton got 10. Forest was it 4? Where's the fairness in all this? Everton's wasn't even for transfers. It was for the fucking stadium. But yet Chelsea seem to get away with it. Like, Chelsea just ride off into the sunset because they go, no, hang on. We admitted it. No, we admitted it. Yeah. So you're telling me if a serial killer goes straight to the police and says, it was me, I did it, I killed those 9 people, that they get a slap on the wrists and a fine and get sent back home to eat their cheese on toast? Absolutely not. Fucking nonsense. Talking of London clubs, Arsenal was shocking today. Do you know something? Let's just all take a second to laugh at Arsenal, because this has been coming, and I've seen some Arsenal fans posting on their YouTube accounts and on their Instagrams and on their Twitter accounts that we're going for the quad. Errol, the Liverpool fan, will absolutely know firsthand you don't call yourself the quad father until you've at least got a couple of them under your belt. Get a couple of them done first, then you can start talking. Don't say it in March. And I hold my hands up, because you know what? Wahaha said that they've been playing shit, and I said, you know what? Actually, they've been playing shit, but they're getting results. Today they were absolutely horrendous. Saka was horrendous. Pep Guardiola knows what to do in finals. He knows what to do in finals. Yes, he lost the FA Cup final last season, but you would say that he got very unlucky because Dean Henderson should have been sent off. I wonder, look, I'll put a poll in, because we're all United fans, some Newcastle fans. Does this loss let City back in the title race? Does this loss let City back in the title race? I think it's an honest question to ask, because losing a final against a team that you are ahead of in the league and that you feel like you are going to win the league when they've got a game in hand and they're playing you, can do mad things to the mentality. Now, with this Arsenal team, we're not looking at a team that has gone there and won it all under Arteta. We're not looking at a team that has gone there and won title after title. FA Cup, Premier League, Carabao Cup, Champions League. We're not. And I think Waha's bang on here, by the way. I think he's bang on. Arsenal's luck may have run out. Without their good luck, they don't win another game. They're just so bad. I think they win games. I'm not saying they won't win another game, but do you think that tonight some of those Arsenal lads have never won a trophy? Do you think doubt creeps into their heads? Do you think they sit there and go, "Oh, bollocks. Oh, it's happening again. Where's Mikel? Oh, he's over there talking about another light bulb situation. Oh, he's got the photographer getting ready to do another pre-match talk." It's big. It is big. And look, LB, I'd be interested to see what LB's comments were on this, to be honest. Because LB last Monday was like, nah, end the season. They've just got knocked out against Real Madrid. They were, 2-1 on the night, lost, 5-1 on aggregate. But when you're a club and you're chasing another team, you look for little moments in the league in the season that go, here we go, we might be in here, lads. And I think Arsenal. I mean, what's Arsenal's next fixture? I think they've got FA Cup next, haven't they? Which is, I think they've got a shit. I think they've got one of the shit sides. Who they got? Is it Luton? When's their next game? Oh, Southampton. Sorry, Luton. Southampton away. You'd think they'd beat that, but then they've got Sporting away, Bournemouth at home, Sporting at home. Then it's Man City away, Newcastle at home. Queen Soph, do us all a favour. Fulham at home, West Ham away. I mean, they've got a decent run in, but losing in finals to a rival that is chasing you down has big effects. Manchester United experienced it against Man City when we lost against them. Vincent Kompany scored that header, and I think they were 8 points behind us, and they won the league. That was the Aguero season. Strange things happen in football. Strange things happen. What else have we got here? Let me have a quick look at some of these comments. Everton to finish. I mean, I'd love that. I'd love that, man. Arsenal win the league. That's it. Do you reckon, Dan? Money, talk, everything is corrupt. I agree with that. It looks carpy. Completely agree, my guy. Arsenal fans thought they were going to smash City because Trafford. No Gay, no Diaz. They forgot they don't attack. Arsenal fans saying the squad was on. The quad was on, sorry, they deserve it now, saying the treble is on. That's disrespecting our 99 treble and City's treble, absolutely. Quadruple is gone, and now they will start talking of the treble. Then we'll go and do the same with the double. Honestly, Carl, I agree. I think they could be in trouble. I haven't watched any Arsenal fan TV yet. I can't wait to see Dan Potts' reaction. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Him and Sam, honestly. I mean, Sam, bless him. Sam, who does the graphics for Football's 12th Man. He was straight in the chat saying, I won't take any comments other than LB because he's the only one that can speak to me because none of you know what it's like to be in the final. Jog on, mate. You're right, Sam. We may not know this season what it's like to be in a final, but I tell you what we do know, pal, how to fucking win them, yeah? We know how to fucking win them. Don't be doing that. You're better than that. Beating City and Pep in the final eight for everyone. Arsenal fans agree, and it is a moral boost. Absolutely. Morale boost, should I say. It's not just a loss for me, it's the manner of it. Yeah, they were poor. Look, Arsenal's luck may have run out. I've done that one, I think. Arsenal don't have a good record at the Etihad. Look, City will be bang up for that. Let's not forget as well, City are out of the Champions League. They've literally got FA Cup football and Premier League football now, haven't they? So they've got Liverpool in the FA Cup, Chelsea away, and then a week later they've got Arsenal. They've got the gap now, haven't they? They've got the one game a week after the FA Cup quarterfinals. So yeah, it could cause a collapse, to be fair, but I don't see it. But maybe. Oh, imagine if we're not catching City. If they bottle it, surely it's worse than us losing. Oh, mate, I mean. I nearly got sacked that day from my job. I was working at the recycling centre many moons ago, and I remember when I heard the radio, Aguero! And I remember sinking I sank to my fucking arse. I was on the floor and I was like, I can't believe I'm working today and I've had to listen to this on the radio. And this car pulled up and this old bloke come out, and bless him, he was like, can you give us a hand? And I walked over and he had a Man City badge in the back of his car, and I went, no, I can't, mate. I can't. And I said, I'm sorry, mate. Of today of all days, with that badge there, I'm not helping you. And I had to go find someone else to help him. I honestly, I wouldn't have helped Margot Robbie that day. I wouldn't have helped Mrs. Robinson that day. I was no help to anyone. Bound to affect him mentally, says Chappie. Arteta definitely would have been shouting to the players after the game. Could play on for confidence for league games. I mean, yeah, Kepa's fucking awful, their goalkeeper, man. Eze and Timber as well. No Eze and Timber. They're a mess. They're a mess. My only problem is City aren't as good as they used to be. But I think they wait for these, though, don't they, Sophie? I think they wait for these moments to go, hang on a minute, we might be back in here. Pep will look at this, and I think, like Mustafa says, it could galvanise us. And that's another point as well. Let me bring the table back up. Ugh, let me get rid of that. Brother, ew. Oh, my days, blood. Look at that table. Let me just get rid of... Well, yeah, I can. We can keep it as it is. Next fixture, we've got Leeds. That puts us to, 58 if we beat them. Chelsea have got City. City will be buzzing after that, by the way. I know there's a break, I get it. But City will be coming back. City will be coming back for one thing. They will want to wreak havoc for the rest of the season and try their best to catch Arsenal any way they can. They beat Chelsea and we beat Leeds. I mean, we go... What do we go? We go 10 points clear of Chelsea before we play them. That could be massive. Massive for that game. They will win the Premier League. City are not that good at the moment. Fair, Max, fair. Sophie, I trust Pep. He's similar to Fergie. He does have a winning mentality. I would happily forfeit every game of the season just for it to be over. I haven't seen Troops yet, Gaza. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're well. I've not seen it yet. I need to check what they're saying. Shane, oh, mate. Shane, can you answer a question for me? You may have just... I don't know if you commented already. The question is, are you worried about that loss? Are you worried about that loss and what that could do for the remainder of the season? Or do you chalk it down to a bad day at the office, which is what I do as a manager? Obviously, I'm not a Premier League manager. I'm an overweight guy sat in his spare room talking to you beautiful people. But do you just chalk it down to a bad day at the office and say, look, we've got so much more to play at? I'd be interested to know what your thoughts on that. I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are on that. Why do Arsenal always seem to get the easy draws? It's like that. I mean, Jamie, we can't say anything. We had fucking Grimsby in the Carabao Cup, and we lost. We lost. 100% fair. It's look. There's a lot of football left to be played for Arsenal this season. The season's far from over in my eyes. Far from over in my eyes. What have we got here? 62% of you think that loss lets City back into the title race. And Shane says we've been shit all season. There's going to be a lot of questions being asked. Saka has struggled. And do you know the reason Saka's struggled? And Shane, you might agree with me on this one. The reason Saka's struggled so much, it's not on Saka. It's on Arteta. Arteta overplayed that guy a couple of seasons ago just so much that he ended up picking injury after injury and it hit him. Saka, honestly, could quite easily get a 3-month break, I think, and he'd come back a different player. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what I think, Shane. That's what I think. But guys, look, it's been a longer show than I anticipated, but we had a lot to talk about tonight, and I will just leave you with this. I think it is important for us to see this. Not that. I think it's important for us to see this and never forget that those bastards did this. Never forget that those bastards, the referees, did that to us. Okay? I don't want it to be forgotten. United could have been absolutely flying if it wasn't for that. Never forget that. Make sure if you're new, you hit the like button and subscribe. Make sure leave comments. I do try and get back to them. At the moment, they're mainly trolls, and if you look in the comments, I love nothing more than a troll because it just gets my creative vibes going. What I love about a troll is they do this. I can see them. I can see them now. They're like this. He's a twat, that Dan United. Right, I'm going to say you're shit. And you can see them going, yeah, yeah, send. And they put the phone down and they go, that'll fucking have him. It doesn't. If anything, I enjoy it. So, trolls, keep coming. I love it. Absolutely love it. But, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Tomorrow is a brand new day. We will have transfer news, I feel like. This international break is going to be full of transfer news because it's the last one before the season ends. I kind of feel like I think the agents are all going to be at work now. So watch this space. I think we'll get a lot of news breaking. I think we'll get a lot of interest in other players. Maybe we'll get some news about players potentially leaving the club as well. But enjoy your Sunday. I thought I had a spider on my ear then. Honestly, I nearly shit the bed then. I literally nearly shit the bed then. And I will see you all tomorrow before the Football's 12th Man stream. Enjoy your night. And remember, I want you to remember this. As Manchester United fans, remember this. Pain is temporary, but class, my guys, is permanent. Dan United, Uta.